Last time I talked about the ideas of Peterson and Park concerning virtues in organizations, character strengths that promote success within organizations and the success of organizations. I was looking at individual character traits, and so examining things that are character strengths of individual people in those organizations, and the ways in which they contribute to satisfaction with life and with work, to the success of the organization, to health, to getting along well with other people, to achieving certain goals and succeeding according to certain specific metrics. And we discussed some of the key individual virtues that were crucial to those tasks, that were highly correlated with success in various dimensions there. Here I want to ask a slightly different question that Peterson and Park also raise. Are there virtues of organizations themselves? We can talk about character strengths of individual people, but we can also talk about character strengths and character weaknesses of an entire organization. After all, an organization, in perhaps a slightly metaphorical sense, but a real sense, does have a character. There are certain traits of organizations. Some organizations, for example, do very well at actually persisting in trying to solve problems. Others don't persist. Some seem wise, seem to exhibit a lot of prudence and a lot of good judgment. Other organizations seem pretty dysfunctional and to exercise really bad judgment. And so a lot of character strengths and virtues that apply to individual people also apply at this broader organizational level. There are also some distinctive things that emerge at the level of organizations that we wouldn't necessarily think about with respect to individual people. So let's think about some of the things that are characteristics of organizations themselves that contribute to organizational success. They contribute to the success of the people within them, and thereby to the success of the entire organization. What are the ones that are most important? Peterson and Park identify 5. And the first one is connected to individual strengths in a way that's perhaps not entirely surprising. We said that at the individual level, 3 of the 5 things that are most closely correlated with satisfaction in life and at work are gratitude, hope, and zest, all under that general heading of transcendence. Having gratitude for good things that happen, being hopeful, optimistic about the future, and then, most crucial of all, having zest, enthusiasm, finding meaning in your work is crucial. Well, unsurprisingly then, perhaps the most important thing that contributes to success of an organization and to the satisfaction of the people within it is for the organization itself to have a sense of purpose. If the organization has a sense of purpose, the people in it find it easier to have a sense of purpose. They find it easier to find meaning in what they're doing, and so often that sense of organizational purpose is something that leads to gratitude, hope, and zest among the employees. A second is fairness. So it falls under this general heading of justice, and we can say having people feel that they're treated fairly in the organization is crucial. After all, if somebody is treated unfairly, or perceives that they're being treated unfairly, it's hard to imagine that other people actually have much concern for them. So it undermines the virtue of humanity, of love, of concern for others, empathy for others, that is going to be important to satisfaction and to success. But it does more than that, too. It sets up a dynamic of resentment that makes it hard for people to maintain focus on that overall purpose. It's hard to be optimistic or to feel a sense of gratitude if you feel that you're being treated unfairly. And so it undermines those various virtues of gratitude, of hope, and of zest. Hard to be enthusiastic about being treated unfairly. So having a sense of equitable treatment within the organization is really important. A third thing that's important in general is humanity. Feeling that there is some degree of concern for people in the organization. If people who are leaders at the top express that concern, express their interest in how people are doing within the organization, those people will feel cared for, and it'll be easier for them then to express care for others. So having that sense of humanity pervade the organization from the top is important. It's not enough to just get empathetic, kind, friendly people. you also have to have a spirit of that sort of attitude within the organization to encourage those traits, to bring them out. After all, somebody might be very friendly, but if they walk into an office and have a sense that nobody here is very friendly, nobody is concerned with anybody else, they all more or less stick to their own track, or maybe even worse, they're highly competitive and trying to undermine one another, it's very hard for that individual strength to actually emerge and contribute to the organization. It's going to lead to a lot of dissatisfaction. So, having a spirit of humanity, of concern for others within the organization is really important, and it's over and above just individual traits of kindness, of love, of empathy, concern, and so on. Another one is connected to transcendence, but in a different way from purpose. It's giving people a sense of dignity, respecting the dignity of everyone in the organization. It's important that that be true not only at the top of the organization. Yeah, it's easy to have an authority relation and a hierarchy within the organization mean that the people at the top will feel a sense of dignity, but a sense of dignity all the way through middle management, down to individual people, and finally down to the people who are at the very lowest level of the organization. They have to feel not only that the people at the top are concerned for them, but treat them with respect, treat them with dignity. And that spirit of respect, of dignified treatment, of mutual respect, independently of level of the organization, is really crucial to the organization working well together. If the people at the top respect one another but have little respect for the people below, if these people feel that they're not being treated with dignity, it's going to be pretty hard for them to persevere, hard for them to feel much of a sense of gratitude. It's going to undermine enthusiasm. It's going to be highly destructive. No matter how individually filled with strength of character those people are in those respects. There is one other thing that is really important that's organizational and that it's a bit hard to fit into this scheme, but it's, I think, crucial, and you might say it's a necessary condition for any of the rest. It is a sense of safety. I'm going to put it here, perhaps most closely associated with courage, simply because it's very hard for people to exhibit a sense of courage if they feel endangered. Now here, I'm not just talking about personal and physical safety, though of course that's important. I'm talking about safety in other respects. People need to feel safe. Safe from physical threats, from physical harm, but also safe from other kinds of psychological threats and psychological harm. It's important that people feel that they are able to express themselves, that they are able to do their work, that they are able to be curious and investigate various questions, to gather information no matter what it says, to express their spirit of enthusiasm and express their interest, to find meaning in their own way in the job. And if they feel as if they're to be threatened as a result of that, if they think that, look, asking these questions or discovering that kind of information or expressing that kind of hope or showing enthusiasm for that are going to get them into trouble, or showing concern for that person, that's going to get them into trouble. That's going to cause massive problems in the organization. Again, it will undermine the effect of any of those individual character strengths, because people will feel afraid to talk, afraid to do what they would otherwise be doing. And that will undermine the success of the organization. So, in short, you want to build an organization that is successful. There are certain organizational level virtues you should be concerned about. Primarily, things like having a clear sense of purpose and communicating that to your workers, treating them fairly, treating them all with respect, with a sense of dignity, no matter what level of the organization they occupy. Showing concern for people as people, having a spirit of concern, of love, of friendliness, of kindness pervade the organization. And then, crucially, having people feel safe within that organization, physically safe, but also psychologically safe, that they can do their jobs without feeling as if they're going to be under attack. Those are absolutely crucial. You want to create a terrible organization, no matter how good the people you have are, well, don't define the purpose. Make them feel as if their jobs are basically meaningless. Treat them unfairly. Treat them without respect. Don't respect their dignity. don't show any concern for them. And actually, make it clear to them they can get into trouble very easily if they say the wrong thing, do the wrong thing, and so on. All of those are ways of undermining an organization fundamentally. So, yes, of course, those individual virtues are crucial to the success within the organization and of the organization. Important you have people who are concerned for each other, are curious, are grateful, hopeful, and filled with zest or enthusiasm. But it's also crucial that as an organization, you have a clearly defined sense of purpose. Treat people fairly, show concern for them, respect their dignity, and make them feel safe in what they're doing. Those things are important if you want to succeed not only individually, but as a group.